Welcome to Checkmate, a series of films scientifically proven to be the most effective way to improve your body language and communication skills. In my opinion. I'm your host Daniel Foyer, and this week I'm playing Space Invaders, because we're going to be invading personal space.
Level 2.
Sexual harassment!
Lawsuit! Lawsuit!
Yeah. I treat every interaction like a game of chess. Facial expressions and gestures are the pieces on the board. And when you really look at people, when you see every gesture, when you know what every move means, the game can only end one way. Checkmate. I want to talk to you about personal space today. Now, everyone's heard of personal space, and you all kind of know that everyone carries this little bubble around with them. Can I borrow you for a moment, please? Right. Daniel? Ivan, okay. Now, Ivan chose himself how far to stand from me. I asked him to come up, and he chose himself. So, how do you feel now, Ivan?
Less comfortable.
How about now?
More comfortable.
Yeah?
Even if you're a nice guy.
How about that now?
More comfortable.
And now?
More comfortable.
And now it's kind of gone the other way, hasn't it?
And now it's a bit awkward.
So this, for Ivan, is where I need to stand if I want him to be comfortable. Now this is going to be different for the rest of you guys. This is going to be different for everybody else I meet. You know, everybody's got their own personal boundary. So socially, you're about here. With people you know, then you feel more comfortable out here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, what happens here is that people have different zones, different spaces that they're comfortable with. So, for example, if I have a much more closer, intimate zone than he does, then I come in, and to feel that I'm close to someone, I'm talking to someone, I need to stand about here. Otherwise, I just feel too far away. I mean, imagine if I'm standing over here, we can't really have a good conversation, can we? But we're not going to feel we're exchanging ideas, we're not going to feel that we're bonding. So you're going to want for me to be standing here, or maybe here, if you know me. Now, if I'm comfortable standing here with people I don't really know, some acquaintances, and he is comfortable here with acquaintances, what happens if I need to stand here to feel comfortable, but he then thinks I'm invading his personal space? What are you getting so close to me for? Yeah, and so he'll start leaning backwards, or try to take a step backwards even. And so if he takes a step backwards, and then we're further away from each other, then I'm going to feel he's alienating me. Why doesn't he want to be close to me? And so I'll take another step forward, and then he'll take another step backwards, and then I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. We won't even know we're doing this, and I'll be like, yeah. And in the end, he will feel, that guy was so pushy. Thank you. That guy was so pushy. He was pushing me around. He was being so forceful with what he was saying. And I could have had the most calm, comfortable voice in the world. But just because I was standing close to him, he would experience me as pushy. There's a really cool film I got at home. I couldn't show it here. It's a time-lapse film where they took a load of Americans, a load of Japanese people in the same room, and gave them all the instruction to mingle, but not to speak to their own people. Japanese to Americans, Americans only to Japanese. And so they went out and started talking to each other. And they noticed very quickly that the Japanese people have a really small personal space. Japanese people need to stand very close to you to feel that they're communicating. Americans need a lot more space. So constantly you have this. Okay? You can be the American, okay? Alright, step back. So I'll be like... and this went on all day, and they filmed them on cameras and then played it again back at high speed, and it looked like they were dancing. You had these couples moving around the dance floor like this, of these poor Japanese being chased, these poor Americans being chased by Japanese people. And this is the reason why we've got so many people in places like Iraq getting pistol whipped. I want you to imagine that he's an American soldier in Iraq, and I'm a civilian. I'm an Iraqi civilian going up to talk to him. Okay.
Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Hey, stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! Stay over there! Stay back!
Okay. Now, you can kind of get what he did there, no? I was pretty intimidating. I was coming right on with him. Yeah?
Should have seen the woman who just walked by.
idea that goes with the job. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how that would look if you were an Iraqi. Okay? I'll show you look if you were an Iraqi. Okay? And if you spoke their language. Okay. Excuse me, I saw over there that
stay back.
There's some guys.
Hey, stay over there.
No, there's some guys.
Stay back over there.
Okay, but I think they're the guys you're looking for.
Stay back.
But I think they're the guys you're looking for.
Stay over there.
They're the guys you're looking for.
Stay over there.
I think they're the guys you're looking for. And there's a lot of stories about these horrible American soldiers hitting people with the butts of their rifles. And what happens is the Americans have got a relatively large personal space. Arabs in general, Iraqis, have got a relatively small one. So to feel, when Iraqi goes up to an American trying to make a calm point, just trying to help them, oh, I think the people you're looking for are over there, they need to be pretty close to you to feel that you're listening to them. Whereas the Americans, they can listen to you just fine when you're standing there. And in the end, the American gets scared and hits the guy in the face with his rifle because he doesn't understand what's going on. It's not that he's a bad guy, he just hasn't been told. He hasn't been trained that these guys will stand that close to you. Now what this boils down to for you guys is that when you meet someone, stop a little bit early when they come in to shake your hand and see where they finish. And where they stop is the edge of their comfort zone. And as long as you stay there, they will be comfortable talking to you. And they will feel that you can talk and you can communicate. Now, who here knows how to boil a frog? Anybody? Yeah?
Slowly.
What do you think happens if you drop a frog into boiling water?
Jumps out.
Yeah, one of the two, either explodes or jumps out. But if you put a pot of frog into comfortable water, room temperature water, what do you think happens? It just sits around. Yeah, sits there, swims around, usually is reasonably happy. And then if you put that pot on the stove and turn it onto a low heat, so the water heats up slowly, the frog will sit there quite happily until it dies. That's how sophisticated reptile nervous system is. So what you want to do, if you want to get closer to somebody, you have to boil the frog. Now, can I borrow you for a second? Now, if our personal space is about here, I'm actually dragging yours out a little bit. If our personal space is here, if I move closer to him, he's going to feel that I'm attacking him. He's going to feel that I'm being aggressive in some way. And so what I need to do is to maintain his comfort while I do this. Because the more we trust someone, the closer we are to them. And the closer we are to somebody, the more we assume that we trust them. And politicians do this all the time. They try to make you think by coming in and getting really close to you. Hello, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. But just because they behave like my friend doesn't make me think they are. You know, the politician could come and kiss me and it wouldn't make them think they were my girlfriend. And it's just the same way. They get into my personal space and they don't deserve it. I just... So what you do is you boil the frog. So you come up and you say, hey, hello. And then you just talk. You have your conversation, blah, 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 very, very charming. And then after you've been talking for a couple of minutes and got a couple of smiles out of them, you just take a small step forward. Just a very small movement. And then you watch them. And they'll do one of two things. They'll either stay where they are, which will indicate their comfort, or they will lean or step backwards, move away slightly. And if you see them rocking back or moving away, you know that you're not there yet. And so you lean back yourself so they don't have to, and continue being also very, very charming. And after you've been so very, very charming and told a few more jokes, then you give them another try. Just lean forward, take a little step forward, and watch to see how they act as you continue your conversation. And when they're ready for you to be that close, then they'll not rock backwards, they'll stay where they are. Very rare occasion they'll take a step forward too. Most people just stay where they are. And so then, you keep talking, and you turn up the hot end of the frog a little bit. And if you do this slowly, then in the end you'll be standing like this. And you're probably outside your comfort zone a bit too close, but they'll just be absolutely fine with this. And they'll feel really close to you. And the next time they meet you, they probably won't be all the way here, but about halfway between will be the comfort area they finish with you. The closer they let you stand, the closer they will feel to you. The more they'll trust you, and the more they'll like you. Spend a couple of weeks now practicing this. Whenever you meet anybody, whenever you're talking to anybody, notice how far away from you they're comfortable. If it's somebody you want to get closer to, boil the frog. Move in a little bit at a time, waiting for them to accept that before you move on. The closer you get to them, the closer they'll feel to you. Professionally and personally, this is invaluable. People will trust you more, people will like you better. So spend this time practicing, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time when we're going to be looking at submission and domination.